Hi, Catherine.
Hello, Neil.
Thanks so much for taking the call.
No
I know
problem.
you've probably been listening to the programme, and heard
Yes.
these stories from people who got, let's just be kind and say, and I'm being kind and saying, very, very shoddy workmanship. And you said, oh my God, I had the same individual or group of individuals
Eh,
do work in my
To-
house. Yeah.
yeah, total flashback. Total. I couldn't believe it.
But
A
what,
100% is the person like wrote
but,
it
but,
out.
but what happened to you and what you went through 2 years ago was the most extraordinary and tragic set of circumstances. What happened?
Yeah. Um, it's a bad story, so forgive me for being upset.
Ah, for God's sake. Sorry
But
about that.
it's it's from the heart and it's genuine. First of all, it's just myself and my husband. I'm 60. My husband is in his 70s and is disabled, and I actually had a fractured back at the time myself. So amongst all that, I lost both my parents in one go.
Do you mind
My
if I chat
father,
with you a little bit about that?
absolutely, I was just going to say, yeah, my father was just before my father died, just giving you the
Context.
full details.
Yeah.
I actually fell and broke my back. I had a small little business. I lost the business, ended up having nothing, couldn't walk, and found out my father was given 3 months to live. So did our best with my father for the 3 months, and it was hard. Few months, and he was a keen gardener, loved his gardener. We promised him we'd keep him at home. It was his wish, and my father died, and had the funeral. And at the funeral, my mother got a massive stroke and died.
At the funeral?
Yeah, yeah. It was just, I'll be honest, Neil, I don't think I still believe it, and that's the truth. I still don't think I do,
Oh my
because we
God,
buried them.
Catherine.
We buried them both together.
The
We
funeral
had to
was
stop it.
the funeral was
We had to.
stopped.
Yeah, we had to, because we had to put them down together. It was the best thing we could do. Even the poor man in the funeral home, nobody was doing.
I never
Um,
heard that before.
oh, Neil, it's something I don't think you ever get over.
And like, did she
Lose,
did she literally
lose.
collapse in the church or did she collapse at the
Yeah,
graveside?
no, in the church, in the church.
Was her heart from heartbreak?
Yeah, absolutely. They were together since they were 18. They were inseparable. And I said it to my sister when he died. I looked at my mother and I said to my sister, I said, the light's gone out in her heart or something. And they thought I was mad. And I knew it. I was very close to my mother and I just knew it. I knew it. I knew she wasn't going to last.
So you buried the two of them together. I
We
mean,
buried the two of them. And look, the only consolation is we keep saying they were meant to be together.
well, it is a
They
beautiful
never,
love story in spite of the
yeah,
tragedy and the sadness.
you know. And they were like myself and my husband here now, quiet people, never bothered anyone.
Oh, for
You
God's
know,
sake, that's
never
extraordinary.
drank or smoked or anything,
That's
very
extraordinary.
much a family person. My father was big into voluntary work, and I'm
You
following
do the
his
same.
footsteps.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
well,
Yeah.
when I got my health back after breaking my back, and when you go through losing everything, every day you have something new. I appreciate it.
Ah, yeah.
It's hard to explain,
So you
but
lost, of course, you did lose everything. Your two beautiful
I
parents,
did,
buried them both together, lost your job, back was broken. And was it soon afterwards then, of course, you had to deal with your parents' estate?
I no, I actually didn't deal with that. My sister dealt with that. You see, that's kind of ongoing because my mother died within 31 days, so a will is non void. When a person dies within 31 days, you learn all that kind of as you
I
go
didn't
along.
know that.
Yeah, I didn't either, but do you know what, Neil? I couldn't deal with that side of things, to be honest with you. Anyway, I was in too much between trying to I promised myself I'd get back on my feet after that, and I fought hard to get back on my feet, and I can walk now. I'm doing good. I'm doing very well, but I just can't do stuff I used to be able to do. But I saw the ad, and you see, I had my father's garden and stuff.
You cleared out the house, the home, and brought his
Yes,
gardening tools home as well.
yeah, I
He
took
he
the
was a keen
gardening
gardener.
stuff
Yeah, yeah.
and little bits, and I said I'd put them up and do a little memorial garden, and that was the plan. And I don't know, you don't be taken straight with me. I suppose I was still going through grief, and I saw this guy anyway, and he came and we met him,
So you
very
saw
well dressed.
was it a Facebook ad for home improvement specialists?
Absolutely, that was the name.
Okay.
Now, I know there's other names since, but it was home improvement
I'll
specialist.
go through all of the names in a few minutes' time. So you
Yeah,
wanted to get a memorial garden that would feature your dad's gardening tools and lay out a beautiful garden
yeah,
in memory of
and
him.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I rang him and he sent me on so-called pictures, probably not his work now, and recommendations. And he came and met us, and I thought he was very nice, very well dressed, lovely car, the whole lot. And like that, I was between two, and he convinced me. So it's the biggest regret in my life.
And
I
what
took
happened
him on,
next? Yeah. What happened
and
next?
he arrived, and I'd say within 2 days, I knew something was wrong. Something was wrong. He just didn't know what he was doing. There was something not wrong. And actually, I got scared. Now, my poor husband is a very quiet man. He didn't know what to do. He was terrified. I honestly mean it. I'd be a bit better, but my husband was terrified. That's
Well,
all
why
I'd
was he
say.
terrified?
They're bullies. They're bullies. They were looking for, money for this and money for that. And my husband was saying, look, just give it to him and get it done and whatever. And
Your husband, disabled and
yes,
vulnerable, as you say, gave
yeah,
them €3,000 cash.
yeah.
You were out because you work with homeless charities when that money
I
was.
was back and forth. But then one day I came back and I thought they were to build a patio just where my sliding door is. And you'd have a step up and there was a little thing there and the stuff was to go there. And either side, then I just wanted to put down a stone, just a stone. So we gave them money for the paving slabs, the stone and stuff like that. And it just wasn't, there was pipes sticking up. I went out and I stopped them a couple of times. Like, Neil, I'd be well able. I think, for me, I feel so stupid, but it's hard to explain. I went out one day and I said, that's not plastering. I said, I'm not a builder, but this isn't wrong. And they turned then at the atmosphere and I could see they were whispering and talking. I said to my husband, there's something going on here and I can't get out of it. Because we've no family, there's only two of us.
Yeah.
It's not that you could call your son or call somebody.
Yeah.
We're out in the countryside.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do. So
And how many
on
of them
Friday,
called? How many of them came to do the work?
one, two, 3, 4, and 2 on and off. Then a guy came for one day, another guy came for one day, and I knew they didn't know what they were doing.
And how long did they stay?
I'm trying to remember. I'd say maybe a week, or else it was a week and a half. I'm not sure, Neil.
So they were there They were there a long time then. If they were there for pretty much all of each of those days.
They were. Yes, definitely, they were.
But so they were certainly putting in the hours. If they'd been putting in the hours properly, which would have been just as easy to do it right as wrong, considering they were there for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say I'm trying to remember, Neil. I'd say they were a week now. Maybe no, in that week, a day or two, they didn't turn up. They were going somewhere else. But I know they were within a week, back and forth to me, definitely.
And what happened? I mean,
I know Jim. I know the guy went missing once or twice and left the others there. But then he came back, and he was to finish the job. And I had said, it was just a war zone. It was a complete war zone. I thought I was seeing. You just would not believe it. You couldn't. And I
was it like a building site, an unfinished building site?
Unfinished building site. Like, you can't go out there at the moment. It's a danger zone. Like, you can't go out there. You just can't.
2 years later. So anyway, how did it finish up?
On the Friday, I was gone away and I had this argument with him. And I was, in my head, I thought, no, the fact that you pulled him up is not right. So I was missing on the Friday. It was just a big mistake, but I was all over the place because of the funeral and everything going on. And I was gone on the Friday, and he had said he was finishing the job and he was to get another 3,000 to finish it. So I went off and I said I'd be back that day, and I said to my husband, don't have anything to do until I come back. And I said, if all comes to all, I had rang a friend of mine, and he said, look, if there was anything, he'd come down. I knew this something wasn't going well, and I was terrified. So I got delayed late anyway. And about 7 o'clock that evening, I said, oh my God, I'm not forgetting about your man. He's never still below. And I rang my husband and I said, Tom, is the money still there? No, he said, I had to give it to him.
How much did he give him?
6,000 altogether.
Oh, good God. In cash?
Yeah, no, there was a check for 1,000. I don't know. I just decided to put a check because I felt something was fishy.
So
and I actually went.
So it was 5,000 in cash, 1,000 by check. 6,000 in cash and a 1,000. So 7,000 in total.
Yeah, and I went to the credit union in Mallow. They cancelled the check. And he actually had the cheek to text me and say, why did I stop his check? Why did I do that to him?
Did you ever did you ever have a conversation with them with regards to the quality of the work?
I did. I went to where they were in the town they're living.
This is up around Mallow, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm living outside. I'm 20 miles outside Mallow. I'm originally from Belfast.
So you clearly are well able to, defend yourself. So you went to discuss the quality of the work, is it?
Yeah. Sent loads of messages. He did answer a few, and there was other people answering the door and things. But I know his Jeep was there. I reported him. I did everything above board. I did report him.
To who?
I know the fraud squad were watching him.
So you reported this business or this company, which isn't a registered business to the best of my knowledge, to the fraud squad. That's a section of An Garda Síochána. Did you report them to anybody else?
No, that was it. They took all the details. They took everything.
It's just that I had heard through Seamus that you reported them to Revenue and Social Welfare as well, no?
Oh, yeah.
That's important. So to Revenue, Social Welfare and the Fraud Squad. And
Social Welfare interviewed me as well.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
They did. But it was through them and their Fraud Squad as well. They got onto me. That was 2 years ago now, Neil. That was 2 years ago in March.
But they're still trading and working away.
Yeah.
And did you ever get a receipt, an invoice? Was there a VAT number?
No, but I had the messages on text at the time, and I thought they would work for me because I sent him a few texts saying, you were after getting this amount of money, and he answered them, and I don't know what came out. So it was like I came up against a brick wall. I specifically messaged him to get the answers, and I thought I had enough on the text, and I was basically told, take him into court, you're getting over.
Absolutely nowhere. They left the back garden, and it's still 2 years later like a building site with so much cement at the back. You can't open the back door.
No, and the thing is, Neil, it was supposed to be for my father.
I know.
It was supposed to be for my parents.
Did you tell?
Nothing there.
Did they know that?
They did. I told
my
them the
God.
story.
The heartlessness of it.
I can't, Neil, how anyone can sleep at night. Because I honest to God, Neil, myself and my husband were two decent people.
And did your husband give the 4,000 cash on top of the other 3,000 cash
He gave them whatever they wanted.
Out of fear.
He just gave it to them. And even this morning, he was so upset. He didn't want me to do this, but I'm carrying this for 2 years inside me. It's just terrible.
I mean, the way people are taking advantage of it.
We can't open the door. The cement has gone up to the door. We can't open the door. He's cemented up to the door. We can't go out the back. We can't go out.
But what in the name of God were they doing if they were there that long that they couldn't get it right unless they just haven't a clue what they're doing in the first place? A lot of people, incidentally, do just pay up to be rid of them. And sometimes a lot of people pay up because they are in fear, Catherine, and they think...
I know, but Neil, it's that way too. Because it was all, I'll be honest with you, I had money saved to get a small car for myself. And I don't care. I don't care if I have one or not. I really don't. But I think I was so heartbroken, and I told him that. I said, "Look, I have this to buy a car. I'll do without the car." I said, "I need the car because of what I was going through," and I can't believe that he'd do it to me.
Well, you decided,
and to look out at every day, it's just depressing.
It's heartbreaking.
It's hard. And the thing is, I had said to him as well, like with myself and my husband, all I want is we sit out the back with our 2 dogs. It's what we do. We don't go anywhere much. He's not able. My husband isn't able anyway. I mean, thank God I'm able to walk again. But just to be able, all we wanted, why I felt the back was important as well, because we could sit out there. But like, it's killing me looking out. It's driving me insane.
For €7,000, you would have got a fantastic job done by people who are professional. You just would have got.
And isn't that neat? We don't even have a paving slab from him, and he took all this. He took everything we had. He took all the tools, the hose, you name it. That was up in the shed. They took it.
They took everything from your shed, including like all of your dad's things.
Yeah. Oh, they're all gone. They're all gone. They robbed everything.
But that's theft. That's a different situation entirely. Well, I mean, in the sense of, what happened to you with the €7,000 in itself, to me, seems like a.
Yeah. But I suppose like at that, no, I have no proof. And it's.
But one day everything was in your shed, and the next day everything was gone from your shed. I had a caller.
The last day.
The caller on the air this morning who got work through one of their companies, and his drill was taken.
Oh, I believe it.
Incidentally, the different company names are, and this is astonishing, First Choice Fencing Ireland, 5-Star Fencing Ireland,
5-star, yeah.
First Choice Fencing, 5-Star Fencing, Landscaper, Groundwork Specialists, Home Improvement Specialists, and Home Improvement, can't even read my own writing here, Home Improvement James.
Yeah, yeah.
So
he's a big guy, Neil. I'm telling you this. They're all big guys.
They don't fear me. I mean, I'm going to deal with the stories and let the stories follow their own course, if you like. So you reported to Revenue, to Social Welfare, to Fraud. Did you report everything that was stolen to An Garda Síochána?
I didn't. I think at the time I didn't realise what was gone. I just told them what had happened and the money was gone.
And you wouldn't have thought of getting a solicitor to send a solicitor's letter, or indeed a court order?
I tell you the truth, Neil. My husband was terrified, and that's because they're not living far from us.
So out of fear, you
terrified.
didn't. Yeah.
I'd be honest, Neil. I spoke again this morning with my husband, and he's terrified. He is. I would do it. And I promised him I was doing this. I promised him I wasn't doing any reports or anything, because the man is terrified. To be honest, I do it in a heartbeat. But he's afraid of his life.
I understand.
And we're not living far from them. But you see, that's the whole point. That's why they do it. That's why they do it.
They know that they'll get away with this kind of work and charging huge money for pretty much no work. Because all of the jobs that are done, they either sit there like yours 2 years later, or people have to get them redone properly, and it costs more money again.
Well, you see, I mean, honest to God, Neil, I don't know how to send the photographs. You'd be horrified. And we're 2 years because we can't. I gave them what we had. I had that second-hand little car. And I don't know, as I said, it was probably grief. I needed the garden, and I wanted my father's things around me and to feel him around me. And my parents, I said that to him, that man. And I just find it so hard that somebody is that hard. I'll never forget it. And it's 2 years on, and it's still the same. It's breaking me. I don't know what it is. I find it very difficult that somebody can be that cruel. That's what I'm finding.
That is the word. It is cruel. It's immoral. Yeah. It's cruel. It is. It's a lot of different things. Following one of the conversations this morning, one of them called one of the listeners, and I should have an update on that at some stage. If he were to call you, what would you do?
I don't know. Panic.
You wouldn't want him back to fix the work, no?
Oh, God, no. Okay. God.
All right. Okay.
Not in a million years. Is that what they rang back about?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I think probably disputing what was being said or something, that they were wronged or something.
Well, the proof is in the pudding.
Listen, stick to the facts and you won't go far.
He's onto it, so is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So we'll leave it at that. I think it's just so sad what happened to you. You were vulnerable at the time. You were very much taken advantage of. They prey, unfortunately, on people who may be afraid, and they can sense that fear, But to have buried your father and your mother at the same time, and to want to put in a memorial garden, and still for somebody to do that to you is unforgivable.
Take the money and the stuff. Yeah.
And And to find your garden shed cleared out as well.
Yeah, and looking out a window at a complete, like, it's too dangerous to go out. Do you know what I mean? We can't. It's too dangerous to go.
You probably don't look out because you're reminded of it every day.
Lads, honestly, I never felt so bad. Like, it's just, especially the summer now, because I even said the other day, I said, oh my God, I said, I can't cope again. I said, I can't sit out there. There's nothing, like, we can't even open the door anyway. Well, there's a utility door, but a patio door. I mean, how bad is that she cemented up to the top?
Hard to believe. I do a better job myself, and I'm pretty useless at everything. But
if you went out the door and down the step, then you'll fall over the pipe sticking up. 2 pipes.
Okay, well, listen, stay listening, and we'll see if there are other stories like this. I imagine there probably are out there.
Neil, thanks for ringing me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye-bye.
Neil Prendeville, the voice of Cork. Weekdays 9 to 12. Cork's Red FM. Red FM. Red FM.